Okay, so in the last video I said that we're going to drop some items into our scene so we can test our panels and how they behave when we collect an item, how they store it, and etc. In order to do that, we gotta first register our item that we want to collect. For example, let's say that you want to have a key in your game, some key item, and let's say you have a 3D project. Well, first you gotta have a 3D model of your key along with its corresponding textures and materials and so on. Then first you gotta register it in a database, and you do that by going to database manager under universal inventory system prefab, and you gotta of course first create a database if you haven't up to this point. I'll just call mine Red Lucy item database because my game is called Red Lucy. And then you'll see that you have, when you refresh it, you'll see a database inside the streaming assets folder. You can drag and drop it in your SQLite database browser, and you'll see that all the necessary tables are here and that they have been created successfully. Then you gotta create an item itself that you want to implement in your game. As we said, we're going to do this with our key item. So this will be just some gold-looking key, and we're gonna assign some image to it. This will be the thumbnail icon that will be displayed when in a panel. And for now, just leave everything unchecked because it's not equipable, neither it is craftable or stackable. And click register item. Also, don't forget that it is a storable item, which means it will get stored in our panel. Use and pickup items are used as soon as you trigger them. So Universal Inventory System supports two types of items: storable items and use and pickup items. And now when you go to our database, you'll see that it is successfully registered in our database. So all the data from form on Database Manager has been successfully transferred to our database columns when you open them in SQLite browser. So once you register your item in your database, you also gotta drag and drop into your scene the game object itself that that item represents. That game object must have a tag, a unique tag, which corresponds to an item title in the database. So in this case, you gotta add a key tag to your tags. But since I already have it in tag list, I won't be adding it, but you definitely should. Now I just drag and dropped a key from our prefabs folder, and I assigned it a key tag. Once again, that key tag corresponds to item title in a database, and they both must be spelled the same. So, and it's also case sensitive, so do have in mind that fact also. Regarding the items, they're just simple game objects that have some kind of collider on them, be it 2D or 3D collider, regular collider, depends on what kind of project you're working on currently, and item collect C# script. That is a script thanks to which you can collect those items. And when you run a game, when you collect this item with the tag key and item collect script and box collider on it, you'll see that it will get stored in our inventory panel. And so how is this process going in the background? Well, first, when you trigger this item, actually before that, item collect script will set is triggered to true on your item if you haven't done that by yourself, so no worries. And then when a game object that is in an array of game objects that can collect items, which we set in previous videos, this is a player in our case, it will trigger an action for storing an item. and it will look for a primary storage table. In this case, this is our inventory, and it corresponds to inventory stored table in the database. If you set, for example, item toolbar as a primary storage, then the items will get stored in item toolbar stored table in our SQLite database. This can all be viewed using SQLite browser, as I mentioned in the first videos of this series. In the next video, we're going to implement some new panel, just so you can exercise this process of adding panels and adjusting their properties.